What's going on YouTube? It's Private KJ, Shot Cars Podcast, back here with another NBA video. Today we're going to be discussing the LA Lakers, what's going on with them and their current situation, as LeBron James did go out with a high ankle sprain, and it is expected to be out indefinitely if you were not aware. I expect him to be out at least 2 months around that time frame, and basically we're just going to be discussing, can they stay afloat without Anthony Davis and LeBron, because they are in a heap of trouble. They are in the West as well, which is tough. And I think this will basically cancel out LeBron for the MVP discussion. So I think this leaves Jokic, Damian Lillard, Harden, and Giannis, in my opinion. And maybe I can do a separate MVP video on that as well tomorrow or the following day at some point. But we're going to be discussing, like I said, the Lakers, what they can do to stay afloat, the adjustments and changes they can do and make, and what I believe and what to expect from them going forward. So if you enjoy this type of video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you never miss a beat. If this is your first time being on the channel, hi, my name is Kyler, Private KJ, and we basically discuss daily NBA videos twice a day. One video discussing NBA news and on certain teams, players, and etc., and another video on NBA recaps and games. So like I said, leave a like, subscribe, and let's just kick right into the video. So LeBron James, like I said, out with the high ankle sprain, out indefinitely. There is no timetable yet for his return. And if you're also not aware, Anthony Davis was extended for how long he will be out. I expect another about month and a half or two at least for him to return back. And then I think maybe some minutes restriction when he does get back. So what can we expect from the Lakers? So, one, I expect that Montrezl Harrell will be the leading scorer and shot taker on this team now, along with Dennis Schroeder. Those two need to step up. The biggest issue I deem and I see with this is who the heck is going to score the points? Because I understand that LeBron James, you can't replace LeBron James' production. His overall impact on the game is probably the greatest of all time, if not one of the greatest of all time. And they, for the most part, have been able to do pretty well without Anthony Davis. But without LeBron James, I don't know how they're going to be able to win. Because if you look at the remaining schedule, I don't have it pulled up right now, but I do know some of their games. They play like the Suns, the Jazz a couple times, the Nets. They have a few easy teams in there that they could possibly pull it done, like the Kings and the Magic. But a lot of their games are against mid to high level competition. And so that concerns me a lot moving forward. So this is what I believe that they should do for their starting five rotation. So to replace that scoring and at least try to replicate some sort of playmaking punch, I think the starting lineup should be Dennis Schroeder at the 1, Taylor Horton Tucker at the 2, KCP at the 3, Markieff Morris at the 4, and Montrezl Harrell at the 5. So let me explain my reasoning for that starting lineup. So what you need in order to do, you cannot replace, like I said, LeBron James. But what you can do is take the players that you have and try to morph that into a system. And like I said, they're not going to be able to get away with just a bunch of LeBron James pick and rolls and stuff like that. What they will end up doing, though, they need plenty of Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell pick and rolls. I do expect that. I think this is where we're really going to see how good of a coach Frank Vogel is on the offense side of the ball, because defensively, he's a defensive-minded coach. I do believe that, and I do see that. I just think that to see how good of a coach he really is, we need to see what type of sets that he can come up with consistently for his players. Now, the reason why I have Taylor Horton Tucker in there over Alex Caruso or instead of KCP at the 2 is because, like I said, I think they do need a secondary playmaker and ball handler. Not to mention that Taylor Horton can provide a scoring punch, something that Alex Caruso isn't naturally talented at. I think it's not his first MO. I do think that Horton Tucker scoring can boost their ceiling in some games. And I do expect him to at least attempt at least around 12 shots a game. I do think that's realistic. Schroeder and Harrell, I do expect to lead this team in the scoring department and on the offensive side of the ball. Slide in KCP at the 3 because you need a shooter. I need KCP to be aggressive on that side of the ball. At least 7 to 8 threes per game in order to stay afloat. Markieff Morris in there because he provides another scoring aspect, something that they were missing. He did start last game, did not shoot the ball very well, but he hit a lot of clutch threes in the fourth quarter, which I like to see, and that's why I think he should start. You'll have Alex Caruso off the bench as a kind of defensive type of player, someone that can hound ball handlers. I do expect him to have his scoring kind of brought up, but I'm not quite sure if I can rely on Alex Caruso to be a consistent scorer, and that's why I do have him coming off of the bench. I do also have some Damian Jones backup center minutes. I do expect his minutes to go up. I'm not really sure how good he is, but maybe 15 minutes per game to expect from him. You should expect that. Kyle Kuzma. So the reason why I'm starting Keith over Kuzma, in my opinion, is just because I think Kuzma. I'm not sure if I think Markieff Morris is better than Kuzma, but I do believe that Kuzma is better suited to come off the bench. I do think he should play more minutes than Markieff at the end of the day, but I just think that Kyle Kuzma is better to see the game of basketball before he actually plays it. I think that bodes well for him. I do think he should be the third leading shot taker on the team, and I do expect him to play one of the most minutes off the bench. Wesley Matthews is going to have to play more and step up. I don't really know what to expect from him. Just shoot threes, play the best defense that you can, and that's all I can really expect from you. I already discussed Taylor Horton-Tucker, so those are kind of my things. I think we can expect Alfonso McKinney. He played for Golden State, I think, a year or two ago. He's just like a solid shooter, and that's about it. Maybe he can step up and play about 10 to 15 minutes per game. So, yeah, those are kind of what I think we should expect from the Lakers and what they should do. Now, is it realistic? That's the different discussion, because that might be a different type of story, because I can expect the Montrezl Harrell, Schroeder pick and rolls consistently, and I think that is expected. I guarantee that'll be like at least 50% of their plays. I can expect Taylor Horton-Tucker to be even more aggressive, because I just think he's naturally a scorer on that side of the ball. But for the rest of them, I'm not sure that I can really consistently rely on them to step up. Now, Markieff Morris, he's just a weird player, because he's like he wants to do his thing on offense at sometimes, and when he's given that opportunity, it kind of hinders the offensive flow for a team. But given the situation, I do think that is a good thing for them, just because they're going to need that scoring. And that's why I also believe Markieff Morris would be a better start over Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma, this is where people want to see Kyle Kuzma step up. This is where we thought that Kyle Kuzma was going to take that next leap into becoming a borderline all-star. And ever since then, he has not been able to do it. But he is going to be given the opportunity to prove it once again and show people that what he can do. Because there are times where he like 20 points, 9 rebounds on good efficiency, and we're like, whoa, this guy can really be something. And then the next game he drops like 7 points on 3 of like 12 shooting. So that's going to be interesting to see. KCP, the 7 to 8 threes per game, I'm not sure if I can really expect that. I'm not even sure he'll get those minutes. Same with Wesley Matthews. I'm not sure if I can really trust him to hold down the fort and the backup shooting guard position all that much. Caruso, I do expect, though, to consistently hold up on, because he is a defender at the end of the day. Like, he enjoys his role. And I can really see that. So I can see this going well for Caruso. Maybe the efficiency on the offensive side of the ball won't go well, because he's not really a great finisher at the basket, it seems like. But I do expect him at least score like 10 points a game, play good defense, be a secondary playmaker off the bench. I can see that aspect. But basically, this is just going to come down to Schroeder and Montrezl Harrell. If those two are not, I'm sorry, but if those two are not consistently getting you 18 points a game, I'm not really sure if I can trust the rest of the team to step up big. Now, enough about the offensive talk. Let's talk about defensively. So, losing Anthony Davis was already a blow to that side of the ball, but they have been able to hold up on that just because I think Frank Vogel is that good of a defensive coach. I wouldn't be surprised if they run a little bit of zone here and there. I think that would be a smart idea, just because I don't think they have the natural defenders to really guard outside of Schroeder. Sometimes KCP if he feels like being locked in, but that's like 30% of the time KCP's locked in on that side of the ball. Caruso. I guess if you want to throw in Wesley Matthews there, but like I said, I don't know if they have those type of players. So I think a zone in certain matchups could be beneficial, especially against when they play the Pelicans. I know they end up playing them at some point. I could see a zone type thing, and I do think that the system, and the NBA knowledge, because they are champions at the end of the day. I do expect them to at least hold up. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they can still be top 15, top 18 defensively. I just can't expect a significant drop-off, even though they're losing two elite defenders, LeBron and Anthony Davis. I just can't believe that Frank Vogel, being a defensive coach and how smart he is on that side of the ball, will allow this team to just drop off that badly. But like I said, I wouldn't. If it did happen, I wouldn't exactly be shocked just because of who they lost. But like I said, I just can't expect that completely. Now, I do understand that Schroeder and Horton Tucker is a smaller lineup. I do understand that Harrell is a smaller center, and that is my concern on why it might happen. Just because the undersize of that starting five, mixing with Harrell already being a bad defender, just because of his build. Mixing with Horton Tucker is really not that great of a defender either. KCP, I mean, like I said, 30% of the time he can be a good defender, but the rest of that 70% of the time, do I really trust him? Markieff Morris is just a body to throw in there. He's really not much of a defender. I mean, if he's going a slower moving forward, then okay, he'll be fine. But for the majority of the time, I don't really expect much from him. That's the concern. Because if this team drops off too far defensively, I guarantee you they will not be winning much games. That will be the main issue. If they can hold up on that side of the ball, though, I think their offense hopefully won't kill them too much to the point where like they can sneak in some wins to keep them afloat. And at the end of the day, that's all you need. You just need to be able to be within the top 8 seeds because LeBron James will do the rest. And this will be a huge test for LeBron and Anthony Davis when they get back, because of how tight this race is in the West, I'm not sure how long they're going to stay a top 3 seed. I wouldn't be surprised if they fall down to like the 7th seed at some point. I really wouldn't be surprised. If I look at the standings, let me pull that up real quick. If I look at the standings right now, as of right now, so in the West, we have the Jazz. We have why can't I say their names? The Jazz, the Suns, the Lakers, Clippers, Blazers, the Nuggets, hold on, my computer's loading, Spurs, and the Mavericks. So the top 6 seeds will automatically get in. 7 through 10 will be a play-in bubble. So I guess throw in Golden State and Memphis. So the Lakers are currently, from the 6th seed, are 28-14. The Denver Nuggets are 25-17. That is about roughly 3 games ahead. That will be an issue. I really wouldn't be surprised if they fall all the way down to 6. Now, they pass down to 10, which I do not expect. 19-20 is what the Grizzlies' record is at the 10th seed. I do not expect that. So I do expect them, once Anthony Davis and LeBron James gets back, to stay afloat. Nothing drastic. They will finish the top 8 seed nonetheless, and hopefully they can hold up for the next 2 months. They're going to need it. With that said, that will conclude today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, turn on notifications, and with that said, Private KJ out.